So we used to be two guys, two Uyghurs, me and another one. Another one was working at the reception. He's called Abdul Karim. Uh, I was protocol officer and the visa. I used to sign the visas, and a lot of Uyghur people are coming in Pakistan to apply for visas to go to China. Then one day Abdul Karim received a telegram from China saying that his mother was very sick. He should go back immediately, and he was called by the consular ambassador to their office, and they had already bought a ticket, air ticket. He should go back the same day. I think it was a Monday morning. Then he was very frightened. He said, "It's not possible. How my mother is sick?" He never, because 2 days ago he called home, and his mother was fine, and he came to me. He asked me what to do. Then we called together the two, China, and we asked his family. Everybody said the mother is okay, no problem. It is a trick. Then we realized maybe the embassy was suspecting something about Kerim or me. Since Kerim was younger than me, and I was responsible for the reception work. Then we left the two, Kerim and me, because I was sure Kerim, as soon as Kerim was sent back, the next person was me, to be punished, to be sent back. Instead of being sent back by the embassy, then I preferred to leave the embassy. We used to help the students, the Uyghur students in Pakistan, and I issued many visas for Uyghur students holding a Pakistani passports who wish to go back to China, as the the Chinese embassy didn't recognize the status of these Uyghur students holding a Pakistani passports. I did it. I was disobeying the orders of the embassy, in fact. For me, it was not an important thing. For me, it's just based on humanitarian ground, because I thought that they were Uyghur people. Why they don't have the right to go back to their hometown? And another thing was, I didn't at all appreciate that we were always suspected and followed by our Chinese colleagues. I think they didn't have confidence on me, neither on my colleague Abdul Karim. So I was very much annoyed of that. If I went back, I don't think I will be executed or death sentence. But one thing is sure, I will lose my job. I will be sent maybe to the countryside or a labor camp. It's possible to reform. I think I left the Chinese embassy. I was afraid that I would be punished by the Chinese authorities. This is one reason. I think another reason, maybe more important, I was looking for freedom. I didn't support I could bear no more that situation to leave. I had some very close friends in Pakistan. So when we decided to leave, the first thing to do is that we called one of our friends in Pakistan, in Islamabad. And this man, he knew very well about our situation in the embassy. So he understood immediately. He called immediately. He has 2 or 3 sisters working for. One was working as employee in the U.S. Embassy, and the other 2 were working for the United Nations in Pakistan. So they called, I think one of the sister called the U.S. Embassy, and we had the first contact with the official, one U.S. official in the U.S. Embassy, who said that we can go. They would accept us. So we went to the U.S. Embassy, but unfortunately we stayed 6-7 hours and we were kicked out. They said they couldn't accept us for different reasons, and we were very much afraid. We didn't know what to do. So we left for Peshawar. You know, Peshawar is a frontier city near Afghanistan, and many tribal people living there, and with many refugee camps accommodating Afghan refugees. It was the Pakistani friend, our friend, who took us in his car. And as soon as we arrived at Peshawar, our friend took us to the High Commission, UN High Commissioner for Refugees in Pakistan. And it was the High Commissioner who arranged for us to come to Switzerland. Later we learned that the UN High Commissioner asked their office in Geneva, to ask 4 or 5 countries in Europe to accept us as refugees. I think they said that the Switzerland was the first country who said, okay, these 2 months they could come to Switzerland. And later we saw a young official from the International Red Cross who visited us in Peshawar. Of course, we were living always in hiding. 7 days in one of his sister's house and 10 days in a remote village, as we were searched permanently by the Pakistani security force. We read it very often news in the local newspapers talking about us. Sometimes they said the 2 Chinese diplomats left for Europe on a ship from Karachi, and sometimes we saw a small article about us that we were caught and sent back to China. So from this Swiss official, we received our travel document issued by the International Red Cross, and our name were completely changed, and the reason to go to Switzerland is for medical treatment, and we disguised ourselves as Afghan refugees. One was working at the reception. He's called Abdul Karim. I was protocol officer and the visa. So we used to be two guys, two Uyghurs, me and another one. I used to sign the visas, and a lot of Uyghur people are coming in Pakistan to apply for visas to go to China. Then one day Abdul Karim received a telegram from China saying that his mother was very sick. He should go back immediately.